For the millions of Americans who cope with arthritis, every day is a challenge of mind over matter. Imagine then that you are one of the world's great classical pianists and suddenly you're gripped by a medical condition that experts say will destroy your career. Well, that's exactly what happened to Byron Janis. His is a story about patience and perseverance.
It was so natural to me to play the piano. It took me places that I couldn't go in another way. I felt that at a very young age. I was fortunate because my mother and father were very quiet. They weren't pushing me in any way, shape, or form.
You're quite grateful that your parents didn't push you.
Extremely.
Something happened when you were 10 years old.
Yes, it did indeed. I was playing with my sister and I stuck this finger actually, through a glass door and cut it severely. And that finger has been totally numb since I was 10 years old.
That finger is so vitally important to
Terribly important. Both little fingers are the most important, actually. I mean, I learned how to handle it, although it was extremely difficult, really difficult.
That was sort of a sign of things to come, wasn't it?
It certainly was.
You were one of the first American pianists to go to the Soviet Union under a cultural exchange program.
That's yes, the first cultural exchange, well, the cultural exchange between us and them.
In fact, there was a great deal of tension.
It was very hostile, and I just decided I was going to ignore it. I started playing it. By the end of the program, I mean, it was unbelievable. These people were coming up to the stage and weeping. And I said, I don't know if it's the playing or simply the fact that they're happy that the enemy was a human being.
As your career progressed, things continued to go well.
Yes.
You had an interesting discovery of some lost Chopin waltzes.
Unknown versions of two Chopin waltzes. Unknown. There were well-known waltzes, for instance.
I played that, but not like that.
and the other one, which is on this recording, by the way. Those were the two waltzes that I found in a trunk marked old clothes in a chateau outside of Paris.
How exciting was it to discover?
Unbelievably, very exciting. Because I knew that was his hand because everything in that chateau was authentic.
Byron, people watching you and listening to you play might never suspect that you have severe arthritis in your hands. And you have for many years.
Yes, since 1973.
You must have panicked.
Oh, completely. I was like sticking a knife in my back, you know. I thought, oh my God, what is this going to mean? Well, slowly, not too slowly, each finger became affected with this pain, with this feeling. And gradually, I mean, the inflammation was very, very painful. And, you know, doctors were saying, well, you can't go on playing.
Was the pain exacerbated by playing?
Yes, well, that's what I wanted to say. Of course, you're putting a lot of pressure on these fingers by playing. On the other hand, the good part of that was that the exercise was very good for them.
You kept your arthritis a secret.
Total secret. Nobody knew except my wife, my doctor, and one friend.
Why?
That gave me, first of all, power to fight it. I felt I don't have it.
You also were terribly afraid that people would feel sorry for you.
I thought they would look at me as some kind of a deformed, freakish person. That's really what I thought. And it was awful to be looked at as somebody to be pitied and so on, because I didn't have pity for myself.
Your wife, Maria, said something quite poignant in an interview. When you were on stage and you played beautifully, no one in the audience had any idea the pain you had endured getting to that point.
That's right. Sometimes I was in agonized pain, and I thought, how am I going to do this? I was living in a constant hell. But the beauty of the music is what saved me.
It must have taken incredible mental concentration And really, mind over matter, you had to will yourself to do this.
I must say that's something I'm good at, and I really used it. Really was mind over matter. I totally just threw it out. I threw all the pain away. I mean, as much as I could, and it worked. So when I did was I said, perhaps I can be helpful to others. And it was then that I joined the Arthritis Foundation and became one of their spokesmen.
How would you describe your playing today, if you were a critic?
I think I'm going a little deeper and simpler.
More honest?
No, nothing for the sake of show.
Surely there's a lesson in your story for other people in other situations. What is it?
Well, if you're passionate about something, never give up, because anything is possible. And I do consider myself victorious in overcoming arthritis. I have arthritis, but it doesn't have me.
If you'd like to hear more of the music of Byron Janis, he has a new CD out playing selected pieces from Chopin. It's his first recording in more than 30 years. And if you'd like more information on arthritis, you can call the Arthritis Foundation at 1-800-283-7800. And we'll be back in a moment. This is Today on NBC.